crew, and welcome back to Trenches. I'm your host, Milan Terez. On this show, we have unfiltered conversations with entrepreneurs in the messy middle. We dig into the experiments, defining decisions, disasters, pivots, and breakthroughs that shaped their companies long before the world was watching. Before we get into it, if you like this episode, which I know you will, please take a moment and like, subscribe, and share this episode to your group chat. Hey crew, and welcome to our episode of Rapid Fires with Grace Howland, the founder of Evoquer, an experience-based fragrance brand that launched just 2 months ago. I cannot wait to get to know Grace a little bit more. If you haven't listened to her full episode, go and watch it. It came out right before this, but let's get into rapid fire questions. So Grace, what are you watching right now?
I'm currently watching Love Story on HBO, I think it is. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but our guest last week also said that she's watching
So
it.
funny.
So I am officially adding it to my watch list this afternoon.
Love it. Yeah, I do a lot of audiobooks. I don't usually watch TV actually, but yeah, that's been captivating me recently.
I love that. And what or who are you listening to right now?
Well, I do listen to a lot of audiobooks if that counts. Are you music or podcasts or
It could be
all of the
music, it could
above?
be podcasts, it could be your audiobook of choice right now.
Right now I'm listening to Project Hail Mary because I'm trying to finish that before I see the movie this weekend actually. I've been kind of on a house EDM kick with music because I just was at Coachella, saw so many great artists. Bunt was one of my favorites. If you haven't listened to him, great. Jazz always in the evenings. And I know this Noah Kahan album is just going to be on repeat when it comes out. Lots always on the. I listen to a lot of, always have something going on.
I love that. And what's one thing you wish more people knew about you?
I think that's pretty obvious, but I'm always down for a trip. I'm very spontaneous.
I love that. I love that. And what's the hardest decision that you've made in the last 90 days?
We haven't even been launched for 90 days, so a lot of hard decisions. I repurchased my first, or I made my next inventory purchase actually the week of launch, which wasn't hard because I knew it was the right decision because we just were moving inventory so fast, but actually physically handing over the cash to pay for that was hard. So I'm going to say that.
Writing a big check can sometimes hurt, but you're like, I need to do it.
Yes.
What's something people assume about your success that isn't true?
I think a lot of people think that I have a trust fund or that my parents are funding my life or my business or a partner is doing that. That is just really not the case at all. I think people think because I haven't had a real job since March 2024 that I have some kind of assistance financially. No, there is no fallback plan. This is all self-funded. I worked in, as I said, finance for 6 years. So I had a good amount of savings and now that is going towards my business. So all self-funded over here.
Self-funded. And speaking of that, what has been the most expensive mistake that you've made thus far?
That one is easy. Last year when we were going through the formulation process, as I said, massive learning curve, had never created a product, never worked in fragrance, never worked in beauty. So I actually made the decision to scrap one of our fragrances after 100 trials and start back over. And that doubled my formulation costs, which was not in the budget and was very expensive. All that said, it was the best decision I ever made. It actually resulted in O2 Amaret being created, which is our bestseller. And I just knew the fragrance that we were working on wasn't it. So yeah, that was a tough month. It also pushed back our launch time. I had a lot of sleepless nights, but it was the best decision I ever made.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that it turned out to be your best seller. That is huge. That is so
funny
cool.
how that worked. Yeah.
Second time's the charm. And when you're going through these stressful periods of time, what is your emotional support item that you can't live without?
It's so funny. I would say probably my Airpod Maxes, like the headphones that go over your ears. As I said, when I have a bunch of work to do, putting those things on, blocking everything out, putting music on, just really sets the tone for me. I could not live without those, honestly.
AirPods, we gotta lock in, guys. Gotta lock in. And what belief about work did you have to unlearn while building your business?
I would say in the beginning, I really struggled with if I wasn't working 9 to 5 or whatever it is, 8 to 6. If I wasn't working the regular work hours, I felt really guilty. Like, I should be working on my business right now. But what I realized is my brain works the best very early in the morning, all the way through the morning, basically until lunch. And then I kind of have a slump, and then I can power through all the way, basically. And then I get really actually an amazing creative burst like late at night. And reformulating my schedule to work for me versus me working for it was a huge unlock for me. So I am usually up at 6 a.m. I'll get a really good chunk of deep focus done in the morning. And then sometimes I'll do like an afternoon Pilates class when I'm in that slump, and having that, break for either a walk or Pilates or exercise, whatever it is, kind of in the middle of the day helps me, really maximize my day and my time, because it really maximizes my focus. And that was really hard for me to like learn that it was okay basically to set my own schedule and take these, Pilates classes in the middle of the day, having come from such a rigid corporate, job. That was like really a really tough unlearn, but I think that has like helped me just really get the most out of my day. So don't be afraid to kind of go a little haywire on the schedule.
Build it, make your life your own. And I love that. And what's your non negotiable in your daily ritual?
Coffee in the morning. I go to bed dreaming about that first cup of coffee. I would say that, and then some kind of exercise, whether that's a walk outside, a Pilates class, but incorporating being outside, seeing the sunlight. I live right by the beach, so I try to see the ocean at least once a day, usually twice a day.
I love that. Getting outside, getting the fresh air, getting your sunlight. I love that.
So
And if you
important.
weren't building Evoque, what would you be building instead?
Actually, when I was going through the process of deciding whether I was going to work on this or something else, there was a something else. It was actually more tech focused AI platform focused on eating or like kind of planning a diet to help maximize your health. And so that's like a really easy way to improve your health is actually in a really cheap way to improve your health is through better eating habits. That was like a couple years ago I was thinking through that. So I guess potentially that, although I'm so happy to be focusing on something that's not AI, not tech. We are just like so overwhelmed in that space right now. I'm very, very happy with my decision to focus on a product and community and experiences because that is just so much more my vibe. So maybe that's it,
Uh,
but I'm glad it's
that
okay.
is so cool. From private equity and banking to traveling to fragrance to possibly tech and AI. I love it. I love it. I'm glad that you decided to go on the fragrance route because I think we need some new, really, really innovative fragrance brands out there. So kudos to you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Grace, for sitting down with me today on Trenches and doing these rapid fire questions. I know the crew has loved getting to know you. For the crew members out there listening, please go follow Grace on TikTok at Grace Howland _ and make sure to check out the Evoque website at shopevoque.com and follow them on Instagram and TikTok to purchase some product, see if you love the discovery set, and to sign up for her testing group.
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay,
much
you
for having me.
guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Don't forget to follow us on Apple and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Your likes, comments, and ratings make such a big difference in improving the show for each and every crew member. Also, if you're not already, come and join us on TikTok and Instagram at Trenches the Podcast, where we don't just share clips, we're creating a network of co-builders in the comments. Each post is designed to be a truly impactful addition to your scroll that will actually help you improve your journey in many different ways. Now, since you're already a part of the crew, this is how you step inside. By allocating to the fund on Patreon, you become a stakeholder in Trenches the Podcast and officially join our cap table. With access to private content, early drops, resources, and chats reserved for people truly in the work. Here is where you get the tools and the behind the scenes of what it really takes to get beyond the trenches. Your seat gives you direct access to contribute and make long-term decisions for our crew while finding community with fellow builders. It's time to take your seat at the table. Our mission is simple: make entrepreneurship less lonely. I'll see you in the next episode.